Welcome to the Selah episode of the Christian Men at Work podcast. We're in between my interviews with Christian men. I talk about 5 things. S is something on my heart. E is an example of faith at work. L is logos, or a passage from Scripture related to work. A is an announcement. And H is a handy tip to help you be more effective at your work. Men at Work, welcome to episode 213 and Selah episode 109. Today I'm going to be finishing up the last in a 4-part series on father filtering. If you want the background behind what I mean by father filter, go ahead and listen to the first episode in that series, which is episode 210. So far we've talked about father filtering our sight, our speech, and our service. And today we're going to talk about father filtering being content. Job 121 says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Which reminds me of one of my favorite songs, and one that my middle daughter, growing up, she just wanted to hear all the time. Blessed be the name of the Lord. But anyway, if we recognize the Father is the filter between us and any blessings in our lives, whether material or otherwise, we will have the proper perspective on these things. In Ecclesiastes, Solomon talks about how our material things will pass on to others and not go with us when we die. We are truly stewards and not owners of the things in our lives. I know we hear that a lot in Christianity, but I think it's so important that we actually really get this and believe it. As my pastor says, if we think we own our house and there's no mortgage, try not paying your taxes and see how long you own that house. I just think that's a funny way of reminding ourselves we don't own anything. I'm going through a separation process with a potential for a divorce. And one of the many lessons I've learned through that process is how quickly material things can change and be taken from us, as well as how unimportant they are compared to our relationships. Recognizing our Father as a filter between us and the material things in our lives will help us have a better perspective on these things and prevent us from making idols of them or seeking our security in them. This is an obvious application for our jobs, since we can often relate our jobs to financial security and therefore material things. We can think of our jobs with pride, thinking that our ability to do our job well comes from us, instead of recognizing that ability comes from our Father. And when it comes to being content, if we're feeling thankful for our job, direct that thanks to Him primarily, not to our employer, although our employer can receive that thanks after we've filtered it through Him. If we have a complaint about our job, complain to Him. It's okay to complain to God and be honest with Him, but ask Him to show you how you should properly think about that issue and how He may be working things for good through that issue. So that's my challenge this week. Check in with yourself and see if you're thankful for your job or if you have a complaint about it, and direct that thanks correctly to your Father in heaven. And if you have a complaint, ask Him to show you the correct way to think about that issue. And that will do it for this episode and for this series. Hope you've benefited from it. Thank you so much for listening. Love you guys. Have a great week. God bless.